Ohio gozaimasu, konnichiwa, and konbanwa. Welcome to my channel, Comic Book Noise, where we talk about my comic book company, Digital Noise, where we explain the characters and the storylines of the Digital Noise universe. Well, today I know I haven't been back in a long time, and I wanted to just come to you today and starting off and hopefully with more series coming with my episodes on Comic Book Noise. But I've been off for a bit because of us traveling and living life and being inspired and doing things for my own comic book company. And now I'm back because we're back on track with things right now. And one of our things that we've been doing is traveling around the world. And one of the destination dream spots that we've been to is Japan. And I wanted to do some content on this particular trip because Japan is such a comic booky thing, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, I know any comic book fan would know what manga is and anime and all that other stuff because it's inundated in comic book shops, and it's a world famous platform of, not platform, but genre of the art world. So yeah, and I just wanted to tell you how inspired I was in Japan from this trip. I mean, I discovered so many things. I'm going to Japan itself, and I wanted to talk about it a little bit because it so inspired me artistically as an artist and as well as a comic book lover. And I wanted to just come on to share with you all what I was inspired by, and now my art and just my drive to finish my comic book ideas and my titles and things like that just came to a head, and just inventing new ways also to represent my titles to you guys out there, because when I do something, I want to do something that's groundbreaking and a milestone and type of things. And so if you're followers of mine and you've seen the prior videos and you know about me as an artist already, you know I work for Marvel Comics, and you know I created my own comic book company, Digital Noise, and you know my titles are The Leech and Omen and The Positive Omen, and then also my new upcoming comic book called The Sound System that's coming up, and I'm really excited and working on it, and the pages are looking great. And now I'm finding time, and plus with us moving, and you see there's a bit different background that I'm having now. There's so many life changes since you last saw a video that I made on this channel. So so a lot of life changes happened, and will continue to happen, and hopefully in a good and positive way. We got to think positive. But anyway, getting back to the subject of Japan. Japan was just such an amazing place. It's one of the, just culturally and just learning about it and just being educated about how different people live, and especially in Japan, it was just mind-blowing. But one of the things that I found out, or I didn't realize, how important anime was in Japan. I mean, we hit Tokyo, was one of the first places, and that's where we stayed at for about 4 weeks, a month, basically. We stayed there a month. And we stayed in Japan, basically, in Tokyo. We stayed like a week or two in Disney World, and then another place in Tokyo in Shibuya. And it was the Otani Hotel, which if you see, I have another channel that's called Passport Geek that has, you know, our experience there in Japan. But I wanted to make a special video on Japan because of the anime culture for Comic Book Noise. And it was just simply amazing. When we hit the ground running in Tokyo, we were just shocked of how the ads, like if say you're in New York City, right? And just replace all of the ads and boards and everything and stuff in Times Square in Manhattan and just replace them with anime and pictures and promotions and all that other stuff, you have Tokyo, Japan. It was like a Disney World in the city, a manga world in the city, basically. And it was like, wow, we were so amazed with it. It was just like completely, I was just dumbfounded with how inundated the culture of anime and the figurine and pop culture anime and manga is just so involved in the government. And this is how the government also used anime and the culture to attract tourism, which I found out. And it was just, wow, the government even involves it in a very strong and important way, in which I was so just touched about how they see art and how they see the beauty and talent of art. And I know we have art here, but I don't think it's taken as deeply as important as it is in Japan. And we were just actually astounded, my partner and I. And so it's just everywhere, basically, in metropolitan towns of Tokyo, mostly the ones that are very popular. So like Shibuya is one of them, and Shinjuku is another, and another strong content of anime and manga culture was also in a section of Tokyo called Akihabara. And Akihabara was just wow, and that's just strongly targeted for the comic book geek, or not comic book geek, but the manga anime figurine geek, and they call them otaku, I think it is. And it's just meaning the geek of anime figurines and manga. And so it's basically all concentrated in this one area. And it's almost like a town of that. And when you just see the imagination and the beautiful possibilities of just drawing inspiration from as an artist, it's just unlimited. And it just has so many types of visuals that you were stimulated from and that you were influenced from just by walking down the street. It's just amazing. And also they have all types of games and gadgets. It's like a town of toy stores for me as an adult. So it was just like, wow, it brought me back to my childhood, just being the wonderment. And it was just like, wow. And Tokyo itself just is impressive within itself, just how huge it is. I thought New York City was like the biggest, best city in the world. And then when we hit Tokyo, it was like, bam. I mean, just huge everywhere. But besides from that, they have just unlimited toy stores and figurine stores and just things you can play. Like we would see like from the ages of, I guess you could say 13 all the way up to 60 and up, of just people just being inundated with the manga or the otaku culture and otaku culture. And it was just wow. And I just felt so belonging in this society, because this is how my mind thinks the world should be, basically on that basis. And let's not talk about the peacefulness in Japan, where there's basically, the people are so well-mannered and peaceful to one another and to tourists themselves. I can't even tell you or go into how nice and well-mannered when we went to Tokyo, Japan, how they were as a culture of people, as far as their etiquette is concerned. So yeah, and just it's so inspired my art. Now I see the difference because I have more of a almost more of a standard Marvel comic art, and that's just my expression of it in a comic book form. And now, when I was inspired, it just inspired my work in a different way, and I see it, and it's just very interesting how just going to Japan just made it a different look, and I think it actually enhanced my talent as an artist. And you'll see my books going forward from my prior books when I came out in 2004. And then when you see my work now coming out, you will see a little definite swing in my artwork and how I express myself through art and with my characters and things. But yeah, I just wanted to say, like, Japan is just such an amazing place to visit. And if you're an artist yourself, I would suggest you take a plane or how, well, basically, it took about 14 hours to get there by plane. But just muster up your money, and you can stay there very cheaply, which we didn't, but yeah. But you can stay there very cheaply and get like a nice hotel or motel or any type of price friendly type of venue to stay in, or things like that. And food is cheap. You can find restaurants and things like that, and all the food is clean and just amazing. And I advise you, as an artist or as a comic book lover or a fan of manga or anything like that, and just take a trip and just experience the amazing beauty of Tokyo and Japan itself. I can go on about the other parts of Japan that we stayed in and or stayed at or visited or things like that, but that's for another show. But even Osaka, if we go to Osaka, it has such an inspiration of an artist, even though it's not strongly manga driven or as Tokyo itself. But Osaka has its own little specialty there, and it definitely has its own artistic feel there, and each area is totally different, and I can't even explain to you about that. But if you look on my other channel, Passport Geek, which I strictly talk about travel on that one and where we go to around the world. You will see videos that I've done prior on that channel, and you can get an idea of what Japan basically is about. But yeah, I just wanted to get on here to inspire all artists to go visit Tokyo, Japan if you can. And it's just utterly amazing, not just by the manga and anime art itself, but also by its people. And I forgot to mention, there's another part of Tokyo that was such an inspiration just to get ideas of design and looks and just that type of thing. If we go to Harajuku, there's a part of Japan that's almost like the fashion, like punk rock feeling. It reminds me a lot of St. Mark's in Manhattan. There's a street called St. Mark's, and it's in the East Village. And in the days when I was young, I used to pass down there. It was such a punk rock cool feel with just rag clothing and things like that, and on the edge fashions. Harajuku is 10,000 times more on steroids on that. And it also mixed a little bit of anime style with punk rock and music and just cutting edge style and just the Harajuku look and things like that. And I know you heard the song Harajuku Girls. I guess it was by Gwen Stefani. If you're my age, I'm giving up my age, but yeah, you will see different looks and things like that you inspire. Like if you design a character, it's just like boom, it's just like goes in your head of just be inspired by different looks and designs, and just Japan itself and the young crowd in Japan, not just in Tokyo or Harajuku or Osaka or wherever you go, is they're everywhere. Like the style, especially in the metropolitan cities, of the young ones are just wow, amazing. And Chef Kiss, and they do it with style and they do it with class. Just really, really cool stylings and different and original and just on edge. I just say wow. And not to mention, you have Tokyo Disney, you have the Universal Tokyo. We went to a place called, what's the name? Fuji Q, which is in Mount Fuji in Tokyo, or Mount Fiji or Fuji, whatever you want to call it. But it was another amusement park we went to, and just being there was such fun and everything. But I really must say, Tokyo, Japan, wow. And just Akihabara and Shinjuku and Shibuya. Those three areas, definite visit if you're a comic book fan, a manga, anime lover, or you love figurines. Oh, and if you go to Akihabara, there's one store that you would have to go to. That store is Akihabara Radio Kayakan. You have to visit this store. The store has so many figurines. If you love figurines, you have to go here. It's like about 10 stories of figurines of every type of in anime or manga that you would love. I mean, and just so many beautiful models that we have had. And of course, we had to pick up one, and it was Fist of the North Star character. We saw it. We said we had to get it to put it on our collectible shelves. But yeah, they have so much more and such an array of different types, different styles. It's overwhelming when you walk in. It's absolutely amazing. But anyway, just my little tidbit on Tokyo, and just a little welcome back coming on this channel again. And we'll make more content going forward, and just getting adjusted to life, as you can see, and glad coming back and just letting you be informed about what's happening with Digital Noise and the titles that are coming out. Again, it's Delete, the Sound System, and the Positive Omen, and other titles that will be in the future coming up as well. But join this channel to stay updated on what I'm doing, and I'm doing new and exciting things with my comic book titles, and hopefully you join me on the travels. Okay, well, thank you all for being here with us, and be careful out there, stay safe, and take care.